of the weekly virtual Big B Meetup, Qatar's popular community outreach initiative founded in 2018. And in April 2020, the pandemic brought about its virtual edition. It is inspired by the people of Qatar, both local and expatriate, and dedicated to my mother. It aims to inform, to educate, to inspire, and bring communities together. Today, we host the amazing Amna Al-Mohanadi and wonderful Joey Haddad on the Wellness Mentality episode, a very popular episode, especially during these unprecedented times. As I say, and I'd like to drive this message in, we all need wellness in our lives now more than ever. Ahlan wa sahlan, Amna and Joey. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Bosco. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amna, if you would please oblige and introduce yourself, and then I'll go to Joey.
Sure. First of all, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Bosco, for hosting me today. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you.
And hi, Joe.
Hello.
I know Joe before. So my name is Amna Al-Mohanadi. I am a certified Ayurvedic lifestyle instructor by Shobra Center. And I'm highly interested in self-awareness, self-healing, and ancient medicine. I have a very long journey when it comes to wellness and health, and I will be talking about it shortly.
Fantastic. That's a beautiful introduction. I love it. It's one of my most,
Thank you.
I really love your introduction. Short and sweet. Thank you so much, Amna.
Thank you.
Yeah. Joey, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All right. So good evening, Amna. Good evening, Bosco. Thanks a lot for having me tonight. And of course, my dog Ghost is going to be joining in at some point.
Fantastic.
So my name is Joseph Al-Haddad. Please feel free to call me Joe. And I'm a certified emotional intelligence coach from an organization called 6 Seconds in the US, whose vision is to enable 1 billion people in the world to practice emotional intelligence. And I'm also a certified IC professional coach from the International Coaching Federation, ICF. And it's amazing to be with you today, Bosco.
Yeah, fantastic. That's really nice. I'm blown by the way you both gave your introduction. It's really nice, fantastic. And people are really tuning in. It's so nice to see Elizabeth. She's the president. Yeah, she's the president of the American Women's Association. I don't know if she's still tuning in from the States or she's back in Doha, but she's a wonderful supporter of our program. She's been on our show before and also always tunes in. And Mr. Saeed Ali Sabtain Naqvi, he is an octogenarian. He's over 80 years old and he's tuning in from Oman. He was the national hockey, mashallah, indeed. He was the national coach of Oman's hockey team, and he's living in. I think he's a naturalized citizen now of Oman from Indian origin, and living there for nearly, I think, 40 years or 50. A lovely human being and an ambassador of humanity. In fact, thank you, Mr. Saeed Ali Naqvi and Elizabeth. And going back to Amna. Amna, when did you begin your wellness journey and why?
Well, Bosco, every time I get to ask this question, the first thing I say to myself, how exactly can I explain that? Because it has been a very long journey. So basically, since I was a child, I was getting sick a lot. Okay, but when I started, when I was 15, then the most hardest days started like in my life. I started to get issues in my stomach, digestive. I had several physical and mental issues for almost 10 years until I was 23 or even 24. And then I still remember the day I was seeing a doctor when I was almost 24. And it wasn't the first time I see a doctor. And I remember that day I was at his office, having again issues with my gut health and my stomach. I remember him telling me to do a procedure, and it was going to be the fourth procedure I do in my life. I left his office. Before I left his office, he was telling me that to go to the reception to book for the next appointment.
Just hold your thought there
Yes.
1 minute. Yeah? Just give me a minute.
No problem. No.
Give him a treat, Bosco. Give him a treat.
No, actually, you cannot blame the guy, because you know what? There's some work activity going on in the next building, the next door. You know, so he's very attentive. Apologies, Amna, and apologies, Joey.
It's okay. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, but yeah, continue. That is a family member. You know, I couldn't throw him out of the room. Yeah,
It's okay. Thank
you
you.
were at a very poignant part. Yeah, please continue.
Yes, so I still remember before leaving the doctor office, he was telling me that to go to the reception to book for the next appointment. So I left his office telling myself, and I was promising myself that this time will be the last time I go to a hospital. I was going the same circle for almost 10 years of a lot of pain, physical and mental pain, and taking the same tablets over and over again, without seeing any results. So I left the hospital, and I remember I went to my bedroom at the same day. I had a basket full of tablets and medicines. I took the basket outside, promising myself not having tablets anymore in my bedroom.
Very mashallah, very good.
And then I started to do a lot of research. I was using my laptop for hours, staying until the next morning, just searching for something to heal myself. And I still remember after a lot of searching, the first thing I found about dairy, cutting dairy.
Oh,
And I still remember I just cut dairy from my food diet in 1 month. For the first time in my life, I felt I was a human.
whoa.
So then I said, no, I wanted more. So I started to change my...
Can I hold you there for a
Yes.
minute? Because
Sure.
I'm a big dairy person. Now you're giving me advice here, because I cannot. When I get up, my first cup of tea is a good Indian chai. You know, not karak, Indian chai with full fat milk and a
Yes.
little bit of a masala in it, and I brew it myself.
Yes.
And I have. My wife is not dairy friendly. She doesn't have dairy. Lactose-free milk. So you're telling me dairy isn't good?
From my experience, from the research I did, not these days.
Wow. I'm gonna try to do this. Okay, it's gonna be difficult, but it's lovely. You're inspiring me already, and you're not even halfway through what you want to say. Please continue. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know that. So after cutting dairy and seeing that the amazing result within 1 month, I started to do more even research online, and slowly, step by step, I changed a lot in my food, in my diet. And it wasn't only changing my food. I started to notice, I will give you one example. I was suffering actually from nose allergy and taking a lot of tablets just
Okay.
to be able to continue my day. So after changing my food diet, it was much better, but I still had some of the issues with my nose allergy.
Yeah.
So then again, I wanted more. So I started to remove all the chemical cleaning products. I took all the fancy perfume brands out of my room.
Wow.
I gave them away. I started to change all the self-care, everything. I had was chemical. I was changing everything to a green lifestyle.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I'm very impromptu. Amna,
It's okay.
I hope
Yes.
I hope you're in the midst of writing a book on this journey. Are you? You have
Well,
to.
to be honest, I just received an offer to write a book, and I'm still thinking about it.
No, don't think. Go ahead.
Don't
Do
think.
it. Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
exactly. Yeah,
Do
this is
it.
Thank you.
fantastic. Continue, please. I'm so sorry
Thank
I'm
you.
stopping you, but I am that's how I am. I
No,
impromptu
it's okay. Please, it's okay. Take
because
your
I'll
time.
forget it, Please
It's okay.
continue. Yeah,
Take
wow.
your time. So, of course, after years of not being able to sleep well every day, not being able to breathe, even my mental health, I started to feel much better, and I was receiving like comments from my friends, from my family members, even from my work colleagues, like why don't you start an Instagram page? Why don't you start, instead of us like sending you messages of where we can get this product or what is the recipe that we tried that day? Start an Instagram page. So I started an Instagram page, and then everything it just came eventually, and everyone was like telling me that you need to get a certificate and start giving workshops, and like I had a knowledge, but I wasn't like certified.
Okay.
I took my first coaching certificate. I think it was 3 years ago,
Mashallah.
and but the huge transformation was last year when I traveled to India. That
Oh,
was a
wow.
huge transformation. Yes.
Where did you go? Where did you travel to in India?
I went to Hyderabad. It was on
Okay.
January, and I was staying in a farm. A
Oh,
farm
fantastic.
with it was owned by an Ayurvedic doctor actually. So there was a
Okay.
lot of Ayurvedic herbs and the
Lovely.
product. So I was introducing more to Ayurvedic lifestyle.
Okay, lovely.
And when I went back from India in a few months, I was thinking to leave my job after working for 12 years. I left my job. Within two
Oh,
months, I started studying Ayurveda for 1 year.
wow. Fantastic.
Yes,
Bravo, Amna.
thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
So, and here I am.
Great. Well, I'm just I don't want you to stop. I don't want you to stop. That's why I'm waiting. Like, what's next? What's next? Yeah. Well,
Brilliant.
compose your thoughts, and we'll go to
Yes,
we'll get Joey talking. But before that, Amna,
yes,
were
sure.
you this composed before? You're very, you're an epitome of calm. You're so calm and composed, and you exude that calmness, serenity. Were you this
Yes.
before? No.
Not
Or
at
yes?
all.
Not at
Not
all.
at all. I had a lot of anger issues, fear issues. I was stressed all the time.
Wow.
Yes, definitely. You know that I'm very grateful for knowing how to live an Ayurvedic lifestyle. It changed my life. Like even before knowing about Ayurveda, I felt better, but with knowing my body type, my dosha, I knew what was right for my body type.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic.
Yes.
It's just amazing. I love this. Let's move to Joey, my doppelganger, my second doppelganger. In fact, somebody's going to call me Joey, and somebody's going to call Joey Bosco very soon. Yeah. So Joey, please tell us how you been living the wellness mentality. What is your mentality in wellness,
Right. So,
and why?
right. So let me start with the why, and then I'll
Okay.
take you through a bit of my journey. So through my journey, there came a phase where I was asked by my mentor and my coach, and then that transferred to me asking myself, uh, what's your purpose in life? What is it? Why are we alive? Like what are we doing here? Like are we here just to go to work? Are we here just to get paid? Are we here to just go shopping? a lot came to my mind, and many people kept asking, like, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you do this volunteer work? Why do you do that? And honestly, like, when I went to the course, it hit me when my coach asked me, like, what's your purpose? I was like, oh my God, what is my purpose? Like, I freaked out for a minute. So it took me a while, to be honest, but in one of the events, and I remember it very clearly, there was an earthquake that took place, that happened in Pakistan, and we were volunteering to support. And we were having a conversation with one of the volunteers. And on that day, it hit me, this is exactly what I am after. So my purpose in life, how I would love to define it, it's reigniting humanity on Earth, which sounds to be something that's really huge, but that's basically what I am after. It is not necessarily something I'm going to say, well, you're done, you have reignited humanity, but through what I do on a day-to-day basis, from educating people about their emotions to coaching people about their own purposes in life and how to get rid of everything that Amna was talking about, but from a more of a mental and an emotional perspective. Everything that's not working for them, right? So my journey began with coaching almost 9 years ago. And it started with NLP, which is Neuro-Linguistics Programming Life Coaching, which in simple terms is a study of patterns. Through coaching and through asking people difficult questions, right? Because this is what coaching is about. We don't give people any solutions. We ask you questions for you to unlock your own path.
Yeah.
And through neurolinguistics, what we do is we sort of help you press those buttons to reset, and you cannot be able to take someone on such a journey, because we call those journeys breakthrough journeys. So what Amna did with herself is a breakthrough to getting into her room and deciding to throw away all of those pills. And what was keeping her to keep the pills was an emotion of fear. And that's what triggered you. When she spoke about dairy, you said, I'm a dairy person. And you could see your eyes like glow. You're like, don't tell me I need to stop dairy, right? So here is the beauty of coaching. So if you're telling me, for example, right, you're having an issue with dairy, I'll tell you, so help me understand, what is it that you're gaining by using dairy, right? What is it striking inside you? And
it's a gut
right?
feeling.
Exactly. So those gut feelings are nothing but our emotions triggering those gut feelings, right? Like we always picture emotions as brain versus heart. Now here is the truth. I'm sorry to disappoint many. It is not a battle between the brain and the heart. Your emotions start with your brain. Everything that you feel triggered, whether it's in your gut, whether it's in your heart, whether it's any part of your body, it is the response to that emotional trigger that your brain kicked in. And when we speak about emotional intelligence, it's about balancing and combining your thoughts and your feelings to build a stronger relationship between yourself and between you and the people. What triggered me to dig deeper after my NLP certification was that I left my parents' house since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
And
Brave.
I rebelled against the family because they wanted me to study engineering.
Okay.
And in all honesty, I wouldn't trust a building that I put the engineering plan for, because that's how naughty I am, Like, okay. I'm a people's person. I'm not a rocks person.
Yeah.
I'm not a steel person. I am a people person, right? And I decided to go on a journey myself. And what triggered me during my journey of learning, when I finished university and I started I was working and studying to support my university. But after I finished my university, I started to go deeper and deeper into neurolinguistics and emotional intelligence. And the reason why was I started to ask myself, because there were grudges being held between me and family.
Oh, okay.
And it cost us years of disconnection,
Okay.
And at some point, the question that hit me one day was, so there should be something that I might be able to do better to help this relationship become in a better place, because I can't ask someone to change, but I can change if that relationship is critical for me. And I did not want this relationship to continue on a very negative stand. So when I went for my emotional intelligence certifications, I started to recognize how my emotions were driving me whenever I had conversations with family. There was too much rage deep down inside. There was too much grievance deep down inside. Because it wasn't an easy journey, Bosco, to be honest. You know, like it wasn't like your
Joey,
job was paying you well. Yeah.
Joey, I can empathize. Well, we
Yeah.
have to talk offline. Yeah,
Of
but
course we
continue.
will. Of course we will, right? So I can tell you this, like there were months where I had to sleep in the back of my car, right?
Okay.
So and because of all of those things that were in the background, and after I started to learn more about my emotions, I honestly had to sit down and journal my feelings every time I had conversations with family.
Yeah. Sorry. How important is journaling in mental wellness?
So here's the thing, Bosco. We can have thoughts as much as we want, but it remains to be, you know, it's like you're talking about a dream. It's actually not there. It's like you're talking about something that doesn't exist. And that's how our thoughts are in our minds when we don't actually write them down and allow our eyes to pick it up.
Oh.
So when you journal, it becomes reality. You know, it's like you cannot run away from it anymore.
I cannot
Right?
run away from it. This is
No,
like a
so or else it will be like a pinball in your head, and you would say like, I don't know why this is happening to me, but you actually know. You know. But it's just that I don't want to bring
wow.
it to life, right? So the more I started to journal, the more it became obvious for me what role I was playing in this relationship not being healthy. And I started to change my approach to those relationships. I'm not telling you it's at 100% at the moment, but I can tell you we went from maybe minus 50 to a 50.
Okay.
And
Wow. That's good.
the shift that happened, was that one day I was having a conversation with family, and you know, like so usually like our calls would be very brief, like 7 minutes maximum, because I know when it hits minute number 8, there is going to be a fight. And that one day I was on a walk with Ghost, and we were having a conversation that got really fierce. But then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm coaching all of those people in my life. I have amazing coaches in my life. Why don't I try to coach family? So I actually started to apply everything I apply on strangers with family. And
wow.
magic just kicked in. Like, everything just shifted. The moment I decided to shift, and the moment I decided to face everything I had written in that journal, Bosco, I decided that it is not their fault that I wanted them, that I'm holding them accountable for my decision. I decided to leave to go on my own journey.
Mm-hmm.
They offered me to cover my studies if I'm studying engineering, but I decided, I'm going to take that road. Why am I holding them accountable for a decision I took?
Okay.
You know?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So in terms of what that did to me, and coming back to how I work on my wellness today, even as a certified life coach, I still have my moments of weakness. There is no coach on this planet that can tell you they're 100% at peace 100% of the time. We do have our time, but here is what I will tell you. Our comeback to action is quicker than others. We come back and we wake up faster.
Yeah.
And that is, in terms of the wellness, that's the shift that we have that helps us become more well in the mind.
Is that NLP kicking in? Is that the NLP?
That's NLP kicking in, and that's emotional knowledge kicking in, because I will speak a bit more about this later. Probably I can cover this a bit later.
Yeah.
I will talk about marriages and why marriages fail. What I'm discovering from my coaching sessions those days. I will cover a very important thing when it comes to emotions and why people start on the wrong ground, not because they know, but because they don't know. And that's why it ends. Especially in COVID, the divorce rates are like a straight line graph.
Absolutely.
right? So I will talk about this at a later stage, but maybe
Yeah.
let's shift back to Amna,
Yeah.
so we can.
I've already got a few questions brewing for her, and there is a lovely lady who tunes in always for the wellness episodes, Janice Castana. She wants to know your social media handles. She would like to befriend you and get to know you better. I know Janice and her family, and I would love for you to share your social media handles, Amna, and also Joey. And before I forget, Joey, I just love your name, man. Not Joey, I was Joseph, as in I do love that name too. But my life map, wow,
Yeah.
very well. We're mapping it really well here today. Amna, please share, please share your social media handles, or at least your Hotmail. I'm saying your Instagram handle for the viewers, please.
Okay, first I only have an Instagram page, which is amna.almuhannadi.
Okay.
I don't know if I can write it.
You can, or if you want, I will write it for you so that people can see it on. It's
Yes,
AMNA
Yes. Dot almuhannadi.
ALMO.
Not you. Oh.
Pardon?
ALMO.
Yeah, MOHANNADI.
Yes.
Is it a double N or a single N?
No, single N.
Okay. Because you spelled it differently on your name here. That's why. So it's amna.almohannadi. ALMOHANADI. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the Instagram handle. You know what? It is a blessing to have just one handle now. Trust me. As a social media person, I have 5 handles, as an Insta, Twitter, and I want to get rid of a few because I say social media is actually anti-social media. And in a couple of years, I'm sure we are going to go back to, the old days where we had a physical newspaper in our hand, we'll listen to the radio and not keeping our heads right down, not looking on top, We need to get rid of social media and Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, you hearing me? Yeah.
Well, can I say something, Bosco?
Yeah, please.
It's actually in Ayurveda, if we are doing so many things, like so many tasks, projects, using so many social media, for example, it is actually imbalance our Vata dosha.
Yeah.
And if we had this kind of imbalance, we will start having issues in our sleep, not being grounded. So many side effects of not of doing so many things at the same time.
Very true. You're right. Yeah. Coming back to you. Sorry. Let's get Joey's handles, social media handles. Not your love
It's
handles.
the name. My life map.
Okay.
As it's written, my life map. It's no space in between, just my life map.
Fantastic. That's easy peasy and well positioned. Lovely. Amna, my questions for you is, what does Ayurveda mean to you? I know it does mean a lot, but explain what does Ayurveda mean to you and how is it's changed your life, of course, yeah? And
Yes.
can you give us a few tips on Ayurvedic, food that I think you come up with some recipes, a quick recipe. I want to know some anecdotes from you, and please excuse
Yes.
Simba. Yeah.
Okay. So before getting to know Ayurveda, I was interested for many years in health and wellness.
Okay.
So I read a lot about different kind of schools and but the thing that got me really interested in Ayurveda is the depth in Ayurveda. It's a very deep, and the philosophy side.
Yeah.
And how it is very specific. And there is a special food for each person.
Yes, true. I've done a Ayurveda
Yes.
cleansing. I've done Amna, 16 or 17 years ago. I did a Ayurvedic cleansing in Kerala. I went and stayed there for 2 weeks. You know,
Yes.
when we went there, it was on an island, very expensive, very expensive, but it was worth it. You go there, you got to keep all your belongings aside. There is no television in your room, no newspaper hitting you, no phone. Yeah, you're living like a sage. And the food they give you, you cannot order, a salmon or a big steak or a ribeye or something. They will tell you what you're going to eat. They take your hand, they do the atta pitta, the three.
The
Yeah,
doshas.
yeah, the doshas, not the masala
Yeah.
doshas, but the doshas. Yeah, absolutely.
No, the body type.
Yeah, and it was a very, very good cleansing trip. Uh, we did connect with other people. We could connect with the people staying in the same place, and they were, there was a guy. He was a banker with J.P. Morgan. He's saying, "I'm come from New York. I'm coming here just for a week. I just want to switch off." So they take you on a boat. They immerse you in nature, and nature is a very big healer. Nature just on its own is such a big healer, and that's fantastic. So I'm not here. I'm talking about my Ayurvedic journey, but yeah, please continue. I would like to know more about your, some quick tips and more about your Ayurveda, the Amna Ayurveda way.
Yes, sure. So what I also love about Ayurveda is the wisdom.
Yeah.
Ayurveda, it's one of the oldest ancient healing system. It has been there more than 5,000 years. And I noticed that I was receiving comments that people, they think it's just a trend. It's not a trend. And it's not like just a diet to make you lose weight.
True.
I love what I love also about Ayurveda. It's not about having a perfect weight or a perfect body. It's about accepting your body type
MashaAllah. Fantastic. Well said.
and work to balance yourself and to live in harmony.
Can you repeat that? Accepting your body type. That is not on that. In these days, it just not goes only for women, even for men.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
Accepting your body type, because people go through knife and I don't know what else to get body types, which messes your
That's
body in the
correct.
end.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
Really
correct.
fantastic. Yeah.
So according to Ayurveda, all of us we were born with different body types, which we
Yes.
call constitution. In Sanskrit language, it is the dosha.
Yeah.
So we have three doshas: Pitta, Vata, and Kapha.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
for each doshas, we have a different body type.
True.
So to accept ourselves, like with different body types, you have different the bones, the size of your bones, the
Yeah.
size of your shoulder. So like people know whether are men or women. All of them, they want, like, for example, to be the same standard,
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true.
which we shouldn't do because we're all different, and we need to accept that we were born different. We need to accept our doshas and to work to know how to balance the doshas and to find the charisma, because each of our doshas have a different charisma.
Wow.
So, because you just did mention, Bosco, that when you went to the retreat, the doctor was doing for you a test,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Did he mention that what was your dosha?
Yeah,
You know
he
your
did.
dosha.
He did. He told me one of them is higher than the other, and it's my bad. I don't remember. I don't recollect because I didn't take it seriously. Of course, at that time,
Yes.
16 years ago, but I never forgot that trip. It was a lovely. It was a lovely. It was a lovely trip. I embraced it.
Yes. You know what? This is the thing that many people, they don't take dosha seriously. With knowing our dosha, especially in a very younger age, we can prevent diseases. Because with each dosha, there is a different diseases you can get if you are imbalance.
Yeah, true. Even the diet. Now, no, you know what? I'm recollecting now. It's like, potato is a no for me, or it's less. Don't have too much of potato. Don't have
Yes.
even some like berries. Not all berries are good. Hello, Shadow. Shadow, right?
Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah. He's shadowing you. Yeah, lovely. And there are some food items is not good, like egg, or a fried egg is anyway always not good for any dosha. But yeah, wow, very well put, Amna.
Yes, thank you.
And I wanted to ask you, yeah, Amna, what I would like you to please elaborate on how you have used it to change other people's lives. Because you're an instructor. I mean, you have people coming to you for advice, for help. So
Yes.
how has it changed how have you changed their lives? And I'm sure in changing their lives, it has changed your lives too, because when you help somebody, you're actually even helping yourself. Isn't that right, Big Joy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this before Amna answers. So once I met Amna 2 weeks or 3 weeks back for a
Oh,
coffee.
wow. Oh, okay. Thanks for inviting
And
me.
we actually have to have a live one together.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was thinking, what do I want to order? And then Amna was like, do you mind if I order? I was like,
Oh,
go
wow.
ahead. I don't know what she ordered. What was it, Amna? It was with almond milk, coffee with
Ah,
almond milk. And
okay.
did you put lavender leaves on it? Was it?
There was lavender, yes.
That's the one. So she literally like had the guy put lavender leaves on the cappuccino, and I am not joking. It was, as you said, like she is soothing. Even her, imagine having a conversation with her with that soothing coffee. I was
Okay.
like flying. So I just
Okay.
wanted to say that before Amna continued. So yeah, just go ahead.
Oh, thank
Wow.
you, Joy.
Yeah. Faddal.
Thank you. So, Bosco, you were asking me about how being an instructor affected the people that I work with.
Yeah.
What I feel is first is I believe in healing.
Okay.
I have
I get
faith.
you.
I believe in healing because I had a very long journey. And what I learned from my journey is there is no magic pill. There is absolutely no magic pill. And no one will come and just like you won't find
Save you.
someone will come and change the whole of your life. You need to work, and it will take time. It's a
Yes.
step-by-step process. And it's not only focusing on the food itself or focusing on the mind itself. It's about the three elements: mind, body, and soul. So for years now, I was giving coaching sessions, doing workshops, and also holistic trips for ladies only.
We're gonna have to put the wig, Bosco, me and you, to join.
Yeah. No. That's another thing. I've been fighting with some of my people who are on my show,
Yes.
especially the women wellness gurus. I said, why are you only doing your programs for men, women? What about the guys? Fatin, who was on my previous wellness episode, she's one of the only women who's doing programs for men and women. Amna, you
Yes.
need to reach out. You need to help even the men in the society here, because you have a gift. And I see not a trend, or I don't know if this is a trend, but I believe the strongest wellness gurus are the people who have actually helped themselves first.
Absolutely.
Like, see Joey's story, look at your story. I mean, it's phenomenal. And that gives you all even I think that is your certification, because I don't believe in certification, excuse me, But this is
I'm
your
with you.
this is your certification. I mean, somebody will come up to me, hey, I'm a certified person. This is my certificate. But I might not enjoy that session with that person, because this is a very one-to-one. It's a very intimate session. You're talking to somebody about you're actually, you're getting naked in front of that person, not, because mentally, if you do that, it's so powerful. It's so, you're opening up, So I wouldn't go to somebody with, hey, I have a certificate, I got 99% marks in that, and tell me your thing. No. So what do you say about the glut in the market of so many life coaches, certified, non-certified? What do you say, Joey?
So not to undermine anyone. This is
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm talking out of heart, right? I'm talking out
Yep.
of heart, honestly, to everyone, because this is for your own good. So today you have a lot in the market because it has become something that people think it's an easy task. You know what? Just come to me, vent out, and you'll feel better for 2 minutes and then you leave. Or come to me, vent out, and I'm called a life coach. Or I do an online certification for like 30 minutes. I'm a certified life coach. Now, the term life coach itself is a huge responsibility. And that's what I keep telling people. When someone comes to me with their deepest life secrets, and they're being vulnerable, as you said, they're basically just getting naked mentally, emotionally in front of you, telling you their deepest fears. If you are not capable enough to handle such intense emotions, you're basically harming the other person.
Yeah.
And that's where I always tell people, don't ask for accreditation just for the sake of accreditation. Ask for it so that you, as a client, you know that you are safe with this person. Because, for example, when we do the ICF or my emotional intelligence certification or my neurolinguistics certification, like the NLP, it took a while to get through it, because my two mentors, and I consider them to be my godparents in the US, they used to come and sit behind me to monitor if I deserve to go out there and be called a neurolinguistics life coach. Our emotional intelligence, our coaches used to attend. We had to send a recording to my coaches and my mentors to make sure I am able to handle the emotions of people. Bosco, because like sometimes when people come to coaching sessions, you need to create a safe space. You need to be present with the people. You need to be able to tell them, I'm not the best one to support you. I'm going to guide you to go somewhere else.
Wow.
And until you feel you are at that place, I honestly don't feel people need to put themselves in that tough spot of calling themselves coaches.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge responsibility, Bosco.
True.
So that's why I'm calling out honestly to all people out there. It is a tough journey. Like Amna said, like it's not just a shift because you're gonna lose weight. And it's the same thing about coaching. It's not just about calling yourself a life coach, but it's about knowing how much of a responsibility comes with this title.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said.
Right?
I like that. I'll come back to Amna because I had a lovely conversation with Amna prior to this show a few days ago, and I was really I was surprised, and I would like the people to know about that surprise that I was given by Amna when she said that in Qatari heritage, in Qatar, Ayurveda is also there, and I would like Amna to talk about that. But before that, I would like to pinpoint to something about Joey. Joey, you were kind enough to share your bio with me and a couple of blurbs. I picked up a couple of blurbs from there. One accolade I'd like to showcase here is you trained over 3,000 people during COVID. Mashallah, that's fantastic. How and why? I wouldn't say why. I shouldn't say why. Why? No, not why. But how?
You know my why now. You know my purpose.
I
Right?
know your why. Yeah. How? And how does it feel? Because you help people.
So absolutely. So just to let you know, Bosco. So before I started doing coaching as a full-time job, I used to do coaching for 8 years at no cost or at a very minimal cost.
Wow.
Because I used to have a full-time job. So
Okay.
it wasn't my main bread and butter, but now it is.
I like the way you said that. I just want to stop you there because you'll have to help me with what I'm doing right now, because I've changed also from a full-time to doing this full-time, but I still want to help out people. I still want to do this for free because I believe in people and I believe in helping. And I call it, this is my bread, butter, and fatire.
Yes.
I call it. Continue, yeah. Sorry.
Like, to be honest, the shift was very hard on me as well, Bosco. Like, to go to people that I have helped for years and suddenly tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to be charging now. It was a very tough shift. I'm not going to lie. And there are still people who I know their situations don't allow them. Still, the services did not change. But also people need to understand that this is what you do for a life. And when people come and tell me it's too expensive, my first question is, would you pay if it was a steak? Would you pay it? Would you pay it for coffee? And if the question is yes, I'm like, well, then you need to prioritize your life, whether the steak will help you through your mental issues or is it me? So and that's the shift that people need to understand. Like, I totally get it that a coaching session is tough because people get emotional and people drop their shields. And it's not something you're going to go on Instagram and be like, hey, listen, look at me. Like, I'm too emotional. I'm going through this coaching session. You'd prefer to go and spend that money where you can basically show it on social media. But I would prefer you to still show that on social media, but when you're mentally okay and you're emotionally at peace. Rather than showing a picture on your Instagram when deep down inside you are in conflict and at war.
Wow.
Right? So coming back to the 3,000 people. So when COVID began, I used to work at one of the hospitals. And it started off with my team because it was a very difficult shift. We used to do classroom sessions. And I tell you, like, my team, they were the best team on this planet, right? We used to do EQ sessions, emotional intelligence, cultural intelligence sessions, and so on and so forth. Anything that would help people connect better with each other. And suddenly, having COVID affect us and how things are running, I started to, and also as well from my clients who used to approach me for support during COVID, because it was a major shift for everyone. I decided that every Saturday I was going to do a freebie online support session on how to manage emotions during COVID.
Did you do it?
Yes. So it was running every Saturday.
What time?
No, it was during when COVID was. So it ran for a whole year when the first year of COVID started.
You know what time?
No, it's not running at the moment though.
I know. But at what time was it running?
Every Saturday. It used to run every Saturday.
Yes.
In the evening.
You know what time?
I can't. I will check. I can't remember honestly because it used to shift.
I'll tell you why. Because I hope it didn't overlap with my program. That's a joke.
So, Bosco, I love you, bro. So I used to do 2 sessions because some people had already attended the first session, and then I moved to the second session. I called it kindness during COVID.
Fantastic.
And to be honest, both sessions started to get a good traction, not just in Qatar, but all over the region.
Yeah.
That one of my paramedic friends who used to work at Hamad, he called me up one day and he was like, I know the person, he's extremely lively. He called me one day, he said, I can't take it anymore. I'm not able to hug my parents. And I actually had him record this. So it was one of the recordings I played during the session. I can't hug my family because I have to enter the house and go straight to my room to make sure I don't, if there is something wrong with me, if I caught something from someone, I don't transfer it to my family.
Yeah.
And imagine that was after 4 months from him continuously doing this every day that he reached out. And then I was like, you know what? Let's do a session just for the paramedics and get in touch with all your friends across the globe.
Fantastic.
And in that particular session, I can tell you, we had people join in from Canada, from the States, from Asia, from different countries in Asia, from different countries in the Middle East. It honestly went out really well because he connected with literally everyone.
Beautiful.
And that was one of the most emotional sessions that we had, because you cannot imagine, Bosco, the amount. And this is when I come to speak about emotional awareness, people were not aware that they had the right not to be okay. You know, as a paramedic, they thought that they had to always be fine so that they appear okay in front of the people they're serving or in front of their families. But you do have the right to feel scared.
Yeah.
Being a paramedic or a nurse or a doctor doesn't deny you the right to feel what you feel. In fact, it gives you all the right to feel those emotions with all of its intensity, to be able to manage it. And the moment they heard this, they were like, oh my God, so we actually, it's okay for us to cry. It's actually okay for us to break down. I'm like, yes. Like we all, why should I be able to break down and you don't? Why should I be able to feel afraid and you don't? And this was like to be honest, like Bosco, like the people still send me messages a year later now telling me, whenever we feel that, we go back to your words, we go back and we chat with you just to reconnect with our emotions better. And this is all what emotional intelligence is about. It's about giving you the right to feel, to understand, and to manage your emotions better in order for you to.
Can you repeat that? I like the way you said that.
All right. So emotional intelligence is simply about understanding, connecting, and managing your emotions better for you to be able to live life better. And this guy just agrees.
Lovely. Well said.
So honest, like if people give themselves the right to do this, things will be much better. And I'm sorry, Amna, maybe I'm taking a bit from your time.
No.
But let me just cover this point when it comes to the relationships that I wanted to talk about. Because a lot of the cases as well during COVID, a lot of the marriages and relationships started to get really serious because people are now spending more time at home, not because they want to, but they are forced to, right? So when we talk about love, Bosco, because as a community, and I'm going to talk about the Arab community in general because that's where I live, we are asked to disconnect from our emotions at a very young age. So you are not allowed to cry because you're a man. Right? So automatically what happens to you is your brain wires manhood to no cry. So basically, you're not allowed to show that emotion of sadness or the emotion of grief. But it's okay for us to break stuff and to have fights and to hurt each other as men because we're men. And again, that is a result of not understanding the difference between an emotion of rage and an emotion of anger and an emotion of annoyance. So when people tell you yes, so one of the questions I always ask people is, do you love your spouse? Right? And usually they're too quick. Yes, of course. All right. So tell me, what does love mean to you? Or what emotion struck you that made you feel you're in love with the person next to you? And that's where people start to struggle. Right? Because when we talk about love, Bosco, it's a combination of emotions. There is no emotion of love by itself. It's a combination of emotions. And specifically, it's a combination of an emotion of joy and an emotion of trust. Right? So you need to feel, even though things might be bad, you still feel like if you're with that person, you still have peace. You still have a sense of joy deep down inside. You're able to talk about your tough stuff and your difficult stuff, but still be happy. And you're able to trust them because when things are really bad, you go to them. But when you're having those coaching sessions and you ask people those questions, they tell you, yeah, you know, when things are really tough, I go to them. But when it's happiness time, I prevent being with them. Or when it's happiness time, I'm always with them. But when I have problems, I go to my friends. I don't go to them. That's when you get to know there is a disconnect and a confusion when people confuse joy with love or trust with love. So that's the benefit of people getting to understand their emotions better, because that will create healthier relationships for people.
Well said. Well said. Well accepted also. Very
Thank you
well
very
said.
much.
You know, as I always say, my wellness episodes don't last for half an hour, 45 minutes. They go over an hour, and I've gone up to an hour and a half. And as again, we have to have a part 2 of this. But you know, wellness is one of the 4 pillars of Big B Meetup. And my first ever meetup in 2018, April 2008, was a wellness episode, a physical wellness episode I had at the Doha Torch Hotel in Aspire. And now, looking back, I would love to host you guys in a physical Big B meetup. I want to do, actually, Amna and Joey, I'm planning an episode on, it's called Humanity. Yeah. It was going to be on women's emancipation, but I was talking to, she is also an emotional intelligence professional and one of the first Saudi women to climb Mount Everest.
Wow.
She's a mountaineer. In fact, last month she's just done Denali, the highest mountain in USA, in North America. And I would love to host her in Doha. I'm welcoming her, and the first ever Omani woman to climb Mount Everest. I would like Amna Al Muhannadi to be part of this discussion. I'm looking to have it early next year. As a rundown towards Qatar 2022 World Cup, yeah. And Amna, you would be a lovely ambassador to talk about Ayurveda, the Khaliji way, the Al-Anabi way. Yeah,
No.
yeah. So please, Amna,
Moscow. Yes.
tell me, you were going to say something.
Yes, I just wanted to add one thing regarding what Joy was saying about love and joy.
Yeah, please.
According to the old ancient books, Ayurvedic books, that, and I'm talking generally speaking, for us, in order to reach the inner peace inside, the real joy, and also the real love, to open our hearts, in order for us to reach that, we need to start with our bodies.
Yeah,
They call it the gate.
That's
Our
so sweet.
bodies are the gate. Yeah.
just like
The
Kung Fu
food we
Panda.
eat.
Just like Kung Fu Panda.
Sorry?
Just like Kung Fu Panda.
What?
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah. That's so nice. Inner peace. I'm trying to put a smile on Amna's face. We're having a bit of a lag with you, Amna, with the voice. I mean, with the video, but the audio is perfect. But that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. It's not hindering anything, isn't it, Joey? We're
No,
fine.
it's fine. It's good. No, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
So, Amna,
Fine, okay.
please continue with what you were saying.
Yes, they consider that the body is the gate to even the higher consciousness. With the food we eat, with the kind of movement we do, with the breathing, connecting to nature, to be grounded, earthing, all of that. You know, I wish that most of the books that they talk about, you know, the most selling books you get in the stores, they talk about how to be happy, how to have a very successful relationship, and so on. I wish they add this part about the food, the body.
Wow. Well,
How
you know what?
eating a food that is full of minerals, and the food that has a prana, a high prana,
High
the
prana,
prana,
yeah.
the life energy.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
the
life
life
energy.
energy.
Wow.
Yes, a food that is high, that contains high vibrations.
Exactly. Well, Amna, that gives you the opportunity to write that book. Since the other books don't have that, you should be doing that book. And it should not just be in English or Arabic, but in many other
There you
languages.
go.
You know?
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Amna, we are nearly out of time, but I'm going to continue because I would like you to tell the viewers about how Ayurveda is connected with Qatari heritage also. I want to hear it from a
Yes.
Qatari woman. Please.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Because our history, the trade history with India, okay, you can find in the local cuisine, the Qatari local cuisine, the traditional food,
Yeah.
it was inspired by the Ayurvedic cuisine with the spices, the cardamom, the kind of the
True.
chili, also the ghee, adding ghee in
I like
cooking.
the way you say ghee. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
it wasn't only the food, even the daily rituals, even the clothes that our ancestors used to wear, especially women, the colors.
Yeah.
I recommend if you try to go to the museum,
Yes.
the Qatar museum, go to
Absolutely.
the clothing section, you
Okay.
will see,
Yeah.
and you will notice that the huge influence.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Because all these colors are related to the energy centers in our bodies.
True. True.
Yes.
So Amna, where do you conduct your classes, and what are your future goals with taking Ayurveda in Qatar to the next level? I mean, you might be already at that level, but I'm just asking. you know,
Well, actually, now I'm taking a break and I'm thinking in several things, but I have dreams for Qatar.
Fantastic.
I have a lot of dreams.
Absolutely, that's fantastic.
Yes, at least to have a very big Ayurvedic center here where we can do detox.
Fantastic. Yeah. And all I request you is please add a session for male also. This should not be a female emancipation program only.
Yes, I just want to add one thing, Bosco, that I did two of workshops. It was open for both women and men, but none of the men signed for it. I mean,
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to be there for the next workshop, hopefully. Yeah.
inshallah.
And I
Shall
would
shall
like
we
to.
share the secret, Amna, or we keep it?
Okay. Oh,
No,
yeah.
we can share it.
Okay, so we are actually planning a joint session. It will be three of us actually. It will be Dr. Aisha as well, a friend of ours will be with us, and Amna and myself. So we will be the three of us will be joining forces,
Is it
inshallah.
a, is it a virtual session?
No, it will be a physical face-to-face session, inshallah.
Fantastic. Then I hope you're going to invite Big B.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I'd like to
Inshallah.
take this. I would like to do more wellness programs. In fact, I want to do. I mean, I was talking to Joey and I said, you know what? I didn't get a sponsor for this episode, but what the heck? We still need wellness in our lives. Just because you cannot make money off it. I mean, even though I need it, we have to share love and help people. So coming to the next point, I would like now is the part where you guys get to host Big B meetup. So Amna, you get a chance to ask myself and Joey a question, and Joey gets the same thing. And all I say is be kind. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to say that because you all are kind. Yeah. So Amna, please, your question to Joey and myself. It can be the same or a different question. What would you like to ask us?
Yes, sure. I didn't actually think about a question.
That's good.
I thought, let me feel like what kind of a question I will be asking both of you.
Yeah, that's nice. That organic. Tell me.
Yes, I guess I will be asking Joy
Go ahead.
that when it comes to your life purpose,
Yeah.
do you see yourself living in one place? Like doing your life purpose?
Okay. I love the question. So just so everyone knows, so I carry the Lebanese passport. I never lived in Lebanon.
Oh, okay.
I was born in the United Arab Emirates and I moved to Doha almost 8 years ago.
Okay.
And there is a plan to move to Canada at some point. But here is the thing: to answer your question, Amna, my life purpose is not connected to a place. And probably this is the reason why whenever I think I want to invest into a house, I'm like, but would I want to stay there forever? You know? However, here is the beauty of what I do. I would love every place that I am at for a period of time, and for that period of time, that I leave behind small candles that will provide the bigger light. I don't know if those people at some point they will remember me or not, but for a fact, I am hopeful that whatever they will learn will be the light to move on with more and more people. So I don't believe it is linked to a place, but I am blessed to be here today because Qatar gives me this opportunity, given my work within organizations. Before I move as a one-man show, was within organizations where I had to manage and train and mentor and coach nationals to become future leaders. And until today, I'm still in touch with them, even though they had attended a training with me 8 years back. I still have a lot of them who are still in touch with me today.
Beautiful.
So, and this is what my purpose is. My purpose is to basically sow the seeds and inshallah hope that that soil was good enough and self-aware enough to grow that seed into something beautiful.
Very well said. Amna, you want to skip me? You have a question for me, or you?
No, I have a question
okay.
for
I
you,
thought
Bosco.
Joey, very well said, but I like it.
Thank you, sir. Bless you.
Thank you, Joy. Okay, so Bosco, if you are having a very bad day,
Okay.
okay, and you feel you're out of balance, what is the most thing you do, like a ritual, that helps you to feel grounded?
Oh wow, you're grounding me right now, actually, with that question. But you know what is, and I'll answer it to you really quickly because I need a lot of help from you, Amna, with Ayurveda. Imagine I'm from India and I'm going to come to Qatari Amna for Ayurvedic help. But, it's true. You know what's been helping me for the past couple of months and maybe since COVID is Vishnu's yoga. He has daily yoga, free yoga sessions online. And his yoga asanas has been helping me. The breathing asanas has been helping me a lot because COVID hasn't been kind to anybody. I would say anybody. It's not been kind to anybody, and that has helped me. I'm still out of balance. I still need a lot of help in my gut, in my brain. I do need a lot of help. Anger management issues, yes, a lot. Also, what helps me is as a professional photographer, that gives me calm. That gives me serenity when I just take my camera out and just taking pictures for myself because I'm an art photographer. I value my eye. So I go out in the desert. I go out in the streets, take pictures, sometimes get into trouble, so that helps me. But Simba helps me, but of late I've been an imbalance with him too. My wife's not in town, so that helps me. Actually, it doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, good question, Amna. You put me on the spot there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bosco.
Yeah. And Joey, what about you, buddy?
Okay. Maybe you would like to catch this on video and send it to a common friend because my question is inspired from him. So I would actually love for you to send this to him because, to be honest, since yesterday, my day flipped from this one question.
Okay.
So yesterday I had the opportunity to meet an amazing person. I'm gonna say who in a minute.
I think I know.
Yeah, you do know. And we've been in touch for a while. However, yesterday we got the amazing opportunity to actually meet person to person. And during conversation, usually, like I'm the one who usually asks the question. And that's why I'm going to relay it back to you, because that's my pay forward. Because yesterday he paid it forward to me. So while we were having a conversation, when he wanted to ask me a couple of questions, he was like, how can I help? And those 4 words, as much as they are simple, as much as they are powerful. And I paused for a moment when he asked me that question. He was like, are you okay? I was like, yes, I'm just recalibrating in my head because it's been a while since someone asked me that. And we continued the conversation from there. So that person is Mo. He's a common friend as well, Bosco, between the both of us.
Yeah.
And that's why today I'm getting the inspiration from him to re-forward that question to you and to Amna and ask you, how can I help?
Lovely. Thank you so much. But sorry, Amna, I might just answer it before you because I need help too.
Sure.
Joey, you already offered helping me 2-3 weeks ago when Sessa
Yeah.
connected you and me. And I couldn't get back to you there because I was still in mayhem, transporting and moving here and there. But I will connect with you. But coming back to Mo, those are the same words he told me when I collaborated with him in February 2020 when we had the event at Altitude. His wellness, it's a wellness center also. It's a fitness center, but it's
Absolutely.
with a difference. Yeah. So yeah, wow, fantastic. I did have a quick recording, but what you can do is you can take the clip from the YouTube page and we'll share it with him and we will tag him. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how you can help me is what you're already doing. You're helping other people, but I'd love to have a session with you. Actually, I won't call it a session. I'll just call it a tete-a-tete. I would like to sit down and have a chat with you. Preferably, even as you mentioned, we can walk our dogs together. That'll be lovely. A
Absolutely.
really healing walk. And I'd love to meet Amna and take her blessings.
Absolutely. Actually, we'd love to go on a grounding walk with Amna one day.
We should. Look at that guy.
Definitely.
And Ghost would also love to come for a grounding. I'm not sure he'll do much of grounding. He'll be running
Yeah.
after cats and people, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bosco. So I will wait for you to then let me know when is a good time for you. I'm more than happy to
Absolutely.
reach out at your convenience. Amna, question passes on to you.
Yeah.
How can I help?
Just by listening with an open heart.
Oh, wow. Beautiful answer.
Very-
Amazing.
Yes.
Guys, with that, we nearly come to the end. But as I say, whenever I end my show, I always end it with a message of love and peace. So, Amna, please, can you give us your message of love and peace? And then Joey and Ghost can give their message of love and peace. A little bow wow. Yeah. And let me get Simba also. Please continue.
All right. So as well, anyone who is also like watching us at the moment, please feel free to reach out. Bosco has shared Amna's and myself Instagram pages. Feel free to reach out
Yeah.
anytime you feel like it. So back to Amna's final words.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Amna, your message of love and peace.
Just for everyone who's watching today, please don't lose faith in healing.
Oh, beautiful.
Keep trying. And believe in love.
MashaAllah. Fantastic.
Love here.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Amna, that book has to come out. Huh? You have to write that book, please.
It should, please. Yes.
Joey, your message of love and peace, buddy.
So I have one thing I want to share with people on how can they start to shift their eating into something that's better. And this I was inspired by from Amna. I started to ask because I'm also on that journey of shifting my eating habits. So I started to think about it in this way. if I love myself, if I always say I love myself, my body is part of me. I need to love it, and hence I need to give it the best that I can. So everything that goes into my mouth today, before I get it in, I always ask myself, how is this going to serve my love to my body? And that's helping me get rid of many of my bad habits. My message to everyone to close is, and this was one of the thoughts I left after the meeting with Mo yesterday, is that your soul can either outgrow your body, because there will come a time our body will get old, our body will it's part of our life, we'll get sick, some parts of our body will cease to work or to function at 100%, but our soul can always outgrow our body. Even if our body is not able to carry itself, our soul will carry it. Or our soul could die way before our body. You could still have a very healthy and great looking, 6 abs, amazing body, but if you're not able to show up with a smile on your face every day, your soul has given up way before your body. So it's up to us.
Fantastic. Deep message. I love that. And guys, with that, I come to an end of our lovely wellness episode, the wellness mentality episode. Thank you, Amna, and thank you, Joey and Ghost. It
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure. It was a pleasure to host you all. We aren't done. We aren't done yet. I would love to re-host you all on a physical wellness episode in the future, and be part of our humanity program early next year. And I will explain more about that offline. And guys, thank you for tuning in this Saturday. See you next Saturday, and stay safe and stay calm.